Billingsley, Hugh Beaumont, Tony Dow, Billy Idol as the Beaver.
Dear, what happened home? Did you notice how he had his hair cut this afternoon?
No, I didn't see him. Did he have it cut too short?
No, but you should see what he had that barber do to him. Why, it's up on the side, and in the back it sort of goes all, and it's all full of oil. Well, honey, I can't describe it. You just have to see it.
Oh, let's take a look at it.
Not start again. You see what I mean? Isn't that terrible?
It certainly is.
He just looks like a gangster. You know, the next thing he's going to be wearing a leather jacket and motorcycle boots.
Come now, dear. You've been watching too many of those live television shows.
Don't you think he could see how ridiculous he looks to us?
Oh, I'm sure he will see sooner or later, June, but in the meantime, it's practically impossible for parents to make a boy see himself through their eyes.
Well, I wish he'd see himself through somebody's eyes. I've just about had enough of this.
Beaver, would you pipe down? You're making me nervous.
Today, there's a beer for everyone.
Hey, me and the guys are going out for beer. You want to come along?
Nah, I got a lot of data to enter into the computer tonight.
Now, there's a brew for the future.
Want me to bring you something back?
Thanks, but I got some right here.
Microsoft Brew.
You got a beer tap on your computer?
With a head so thick you can float a mouse on it.
Let me get this straight. You make your own beer with the computer?
With the right software, you can do anything.
Microsoft Brew.
Here, I call this one Windows 95.
I don't know. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
And if you got to get there quicker, try the new ISDN malt liquor.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, a long-haired young person came into our bank and said to me, "I bet you won't lend me money to buy an electric guitar." Well, he was making $100 a week, and he was over 18, and I said, "I bet you I will lend you money to buy an electric guitar." And I did. So what happens? The punk gets busted for possession of dangerous drugs, and we're out $350. There's one thing about kids nowadays. You don't have to give them credit.
Universal Bank. We trust you. About as far as we can throw you.
You're listening to the Fast Plastic Radio Network. It's about the game.
And as always, we've got Bill tonight. How's it going there, Bill?
Going pretty good, JB. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm glad to be back on the air.
How's the mic sound for you over there?
It sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good.
Bump me up a little on the phones here.
Headphones?
Yeah.
All right. You tell me when.
All right. Yeah, right there.
All right.
All right. Well, don't have a big list of guests coming on the show tonight, since this is our quote-unquote pilot for our new series of shows that we hope to get through here in spring. So, but we do have some pretty exciting things going on here with the Fast Plastic Radio Network. JB, maybe you can tell us a little bit about what's happened over the last few months.
Well, where to start? I don't really know. Well, you know, we did 3 shows starting December the 26th of 2017 was the first Fast Plastic Radio Network on listentomyradio.com, which was pretty phenomenal. Had a good turnout for that. A lot of listeners that tuned in. And we did 2 other shows in January, and we were having some technical difficulties with some of the equipment. We've had a computer go down, numerous gremlins to work out. So as Billy and myself were discussing things, we were talking about it, and we thought, why can't we stream this live on our Facebook page? That's WROC The Rock, live on Facebook right now. And then also we figured, why not broadcast it on the Fast Plastic YouTube channel too? You know, that just made sense. And then we could broadcast also the audio on WROC 93.5 radiostream321.com. So we figured we might as well do that. So as you can tell, welcome to our studio here. You can see the studio set up here. Pretty nice. Gotta love our Dallas Cowboys rug in the floor. I seen a comment already on Facebook about the ugly rug. I don't know. That could be a fighting word. I don't know.
Well, that was one of the stipulations I had built into the contract. That's the only way I would come into the studio to do any shows, if that there was some Dallas Cowboy representation in house.
Absolutely. Now you notice right next to you on the wall there we have Shinerbach. That's another Texas.
Oh yeah, that was always the crowd favorite from back in the days of the NCT in Austin, Texas. The old what was the name of that bar everybody went to? Bone Daddies. You go to Bone Daddies and you get the tall Shinerbach Grande beers, but that's pretty good stuff. I think it's a lot more popular today around the country than what it was, 10, 20 years ago. I think somebody's bought distribution rights for that all over the place.
Yeah, I just saw on Discovery the other night that if you ever watch Gas Monkey Garage, they were actually building a truck for Shinerbach on there. It's pretty cool. But so let's go back to what we're doing here. This is kind of the debut show with the new setup. We're giving it a trial run, and we're going to ask for feedback from everybody. Let us know how this is working on your end from Facebook, or if you're on the YouTube channel, and hopefully we won't get dinged on YouTube or Facebook Live for copyright stuff, because our opener is created by none other than myself. And so we had some parody commercials in there that are not anything that should be picked apart. So I just thought it was kind of cool to be able to broadcast live and let you guys see the studio. And of course, when we're asking for feedback, you can hit us on Facebook and Messenger. You can email us at WROC935TheRock@gmail. Tell us what you want. And of course, you can call us 618-200-9260. And you can talk to us tonight while we're live here in the studio.
Yeah, what was it we were saying tonight's theme would be called?
Wild Wednesday or something like that.
Wide Open Wednesday.
Wide Open Wednesday. Absolutely. Yes.
No real format tonight. It's mainly like JB just said, just get some feedback. I do have a few things I'll talk about, but nothing too major. So,
well, there's a question I see over here on Facebook from Ed Packer. He says, do you know where the trophy from this past year is?
I think it's down the hall in the ladies' room.
Oh, that's rough.
Or where I don't know. Maybe it's actually I think it's doing some hard time down south in Florida is where I think that thing it might be. But
gotcha.
Better enjoy it while you got it. That's all I've got to say.
All right. So again, while we're on tonight, feel free if you want to call us. We'll put you on there, and you can talk with Billy and myself. You can also message us while we're live here on Facebook, because I'll periodically look over and see if I can read some of the comments. Getting kind of old. My site's not near as good as it once was. So we'll try to keep up with that. I think everybody give us feedback on what you think of the studio. Tell us what you think of the studio, how the studio looks from what you see. We're kind of proud of it. We think it's pretty nice, pretty snazzy.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, between segments, if we get bored or if we have a bad guest on, we even have some workout equipment here on the backside that you can't see on camera, so we can actually I can work out on my pitching arm a little bit while I'm doing radio. How about that?
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I would work out my rock throwing arm, but I've had to give that up.
You've given up the professional rock throwing?
I have. It was a tragic decision, but I decided I was going to give it up finally.
Well, it's a pretty tragic sport from what you were explaining last time, that a lot of scars and injuries, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine. But those crazy Canadians, I mean, they give it to them. You got to hand it to them.
Absolutely. We were always looking for crazy and wild things to do.
Yeah. So, well, I'll start off here with an announcement. It's not anything new, but I have received quite a few emails coming through to Fast Plastic over the last couple of months. I've been pretty much dormant as far as wiffle ball related subjects, but people are starting to ask about the Fast Plastic tournament coming up for 2018, and it's going to be Columbus Day weekend, which is a Saturday, October 6th, and it will be in Frisco, Texas again. Anybody that didn't make it last year, I can tell you that you missed out on an awesome event, and it's only going to get better. We're going to double down for this upcoming season. It's going to be better quality players, better teams. We're going to beef up equipment, and, it only gets better. If I'm going to be behind something, and if you know damn well if Jonathan King's going to be involved, you're going to get the best. So along with feedback here with the radio gig, you can also send some feedback about the Fast Plastic NCT if there's something you would like to see down there, a way we can improve. My ears are always open. Let's talk about it and see what can be done. But I promote constant, never-ending improvements, whether they're small or large. Everything can always be improved upon. So Columbus Day weekend, October 6th, Saturday. Get in on Friday, hang out. We're going to have a good time on Friday. Stay all day Saturday, and then we'll probably have another great time Sunday until all the flights are out. I heard from former Fast Plastic national champion Gary Lavoie a couple of days ago, and he's already making arrangements for the 603 All-Stars to be in attendance, so that's great news. I'll be reaching out to all former champions, and I'm going to go through and I'm going to name them right now. Starting back with the USPPBA days, you got the undefeated, maybe the most dominating team in history, the A-Bros. I will try to reach out to them some way. I don't know where they are these days, but I'm going to make an attempt. You got the 2002 Vipers, which is Old Man Balian, Crazy Tom, Jankowski, Rich Ewald, myself. 2003 Vipers, I'll reach out to them. The Arizona Boys, DP, Jim Dalby, Randy Dalby, Balian, Greg Edwards, Shoeless Dave. Try to get, I know some of those guys will be there. Hopefully old DP will be able to be up and about and be able to play. Swingers up in New Jersey, New York from 04. I haven't talked to Anthony or any of those guys in a while, but I'm due to get a hold of them, see what's going on, see if they have any interest in trying to come down, hang out. 2005, In the Box, Mickey Hyde, Joe Nord, Tom Locascio. I did talk to Tom. If you guys remember back in January, he came on the show and he said that, they're interested in playing some. So that's good to hear. 2006, damn well Josh Pagano is going to be there and Evan Leisure. So in some form, the rookies, I think they played last year as Remember the Rookies with Matty Griffin, Haverty. So they'll be there in some form. 2007, who was it in 2007? Only the best damn team ever, GSW, will be there. 2008, as I mentioned, 603 All-Stars, really, really great team. Gary will be putting together some form of a 603 extremely competitive squad. I've heard a few rumors out there about some guys that might be going to play with them. And then 2009, it was the Phenoms, which is Pagano and Leisure again. So anyway, guys, that's my goal. Let's get the champs out there to round out an amazing field of teams and players. And the other thing that I kind of want to talk about a little bit tonight is I've been throwing around the idea of how do you qualify to get to Texas? And I've heard from quite a few guys, different ideas. And I think what I'm really leaning towards now is I want to see a series of tournaments around the country, It doesn't have to be 100 tournaments, but it could be 10 tournaments. It could be 20, but I think 10 is a good starting point. I know there's a few guys that are talking about running tournaments or are currently already running a tournament. And I would simply like to talk to you and make your tournament a way to qualify for the NCT. So, we'd stamp the Fast Plastic name beside your name somehow, help promote it, and bring players your way. And also, maybe you want to run a tournament. All you got to do is get a hold of me and we can talk. I can tell you everything you need to know to help get you started. It's not that difficult. The sport needs more tournaments. Used to be throughout the summer, we had easily well over 100 tournaments that players could show up anywhere in the country. I'm talking about from Seattle to Miami, from Boston, New Hampshire, all the way down to San Diego, and all points in between, with the exception of a few like, Wyoming and Montana. I don't ever remember seeing anything happen in that part of the country, the Dakotas. But everywhere else, there was something going on. Players could show up, play in a tournament, get in some good practice, play against some good quality players, and prep themselves for a larger event somewhere in the country. So I think we need to start thinking about how do we get back to that, without going crazy and without guys having to work themselves to death and go broke trying to do so. But there's just not enough playing time currently. And so I'm going to do something about it one way or another. And but anyway, if you think you would want to run a single tournament, let me know. I will help you get going. And I know many other guys that are willing to help as well. So it wouldn't be that difficult for it to all come together for you. JB, you were saying something about you was wanting to run like a bunch of tournaments, right? You're wanting to do that?
Well, I'll try. Probably won't be near as successful though. I don't know much about running tournaments. My experience in the athletic area is throwing rocks.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of that, I was looking around YouTube, and I've always kept my eye on foreign countries. I've done this going back to probably about 2003. I started, anytime I would see a website pop up, I would always try to figure out if there's anybody in a foreign country that's playing ball, and should I be looking at them a bit more closely? Well, as I'm sure as a lot of listeners currently know, there's a little bit of a flare-up going on in Japan, and I've kind of been keeping an eye on that. And don't be surprised if you see a team from Japan showing up at the NCT. But what I was really wanting to get into about that is they have something that I think is really cool. I was watching them. They have tournaments and leagues where what looks to be plastic bottle caps from like soda bottles that they pitch, and they can throw curves and screwballs and all these different type pitches with these bottle caps, and they use the old yellow wiffle ball bats, and they play like a running style of wiffle ball, but with these bottle caps. That just amazes me. I love stuff like that. So you get some time, get on YouTube and take a look at some of that stuff. Those guys, they're pretty cool. And some of those kids over there that are playing with, they can throw pretty well. So I'm going to see what I can do to get a few of their better players to show up over here. And they're dying to do that. They've copied some of my old Fast Plastic tournament footage from the NCT and have used it on their YouTube page. So that's pretty cool.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah. I mean, they've got some other leagues as well that they've captured footage.
We've got a call coming in here, so let's go to the phone lines. 93.5 The Rock, you're on the air. Hello.
Hey guys, it's Tim Cook.
How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing good.
That's good. So what's going on with you?
There's a major delay
Okay, try listening through your phone versus the internet if you can, Tim, or is there that bad a delay?
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Tim, do you hear us?
All right. Well, let's drop that call and we'll figure this out on the run here. Tim, sorry about that. We'll figure that out, and we'll take you back on here shortly. So, so if you can, JB, tell everybody listening again, like the triple threat format that we have here.
Absolutely. So as I stated earlier, if you just joined us after our 3-show run in the first of the year, we shut down because of some technical issues, and we're trying to reformat a little bit, and we discussed about doing Facebook Live streaming over the internet for Facebook, and then broadcasting on the Fast Plastic YouTube channel as well. And of course, keeping our audio stream up on listentomyradio.com, which we're doing all 3 of these tonight. And again, we're asking for feedback, and I've got some feedback. I believe it was Tim Cook on YouTube that told me it sounded good and was looking good so far. So I appreciate that feedback, because this is the trial run tonight to see how things are going to work. And it sounds like maybe we might have a phone issue still. I don't know if there's that big of a delay or not. We'll have to try again here in a little bit to see if that will solve it. But you can, leave us feedback. Definitely give us feedback on Messenger, on Facebook. You can email us at WROC935 therock@gmail.com. And you can always, text Bill and tell him what you thought of the show. Let us know, because we're looking for ways to improve the show and make the quality of the show much, much better. So that's where we're at. And of course, the number, if you do want to call in, I have posted it on the Facebook feed there. It's 618-200-9260. You can call us here in the studio. We'll talk to you, and we'll see how things are going from there.
Yeah, very good. Very good. So I think around the country, any events, news, there's a few things going on. I think there's still a big debate, or what would be the right word? I'm looking for a debacle, more like, between Brett Palisades and these NWLA guys. And I was reading over some of the material that was sent to me, and that intrigues me quite a bit. I've told Brett that, that stuff, as far back as I can remember, that same debate or argument has always been going on between what I call slow pitch guys, or base runners, or the yellow bat leagues, and the Fast Plastic Palisades style of play. And I don't know. So what, 25 years and it's still going strong. So I don't think anybody's ever going to really win. But like I've said in the past, anybody that plays at the level of Fast Plastic or Palisades could easily go back and play the NWLA style, which I honestly, I don't even know what it is. I've looked over it a few times, but I don't really understand the whole concept of it. But what I'm getting at is that we could go back and play that way and probably go undefeated, never lose, but we choose not to play that way because we enjoy the more competitive batter versus pitcher challenge that exists with our style of play or our rules and equipment. So I think a lot of guys know what I'm talking about and they agree with that. But every style of play, I guess, has its place. So, but anyway, that's kind of a big deal going on, and I'm sure a lot of guys don't even know that's going on. But that's something that I was
I'll interject something here for you. We were talking about the Japanese leagues out there. Tim Cook had sent a message on YouTube and said that he's actually reached out to some of those teams about, I guess, coming to play in some of the tournaments. So it could be a reality.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we'll see.
And I want to throw out, too, I think I've resolved the phone issue. I had a setting here on the board that was turned down, so that should resolve that. So if you call us now, we should be able to hear you as well as you hear us on the phone, okay?
Yeah, producers and engineers, man, I tell you. Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Absolutely. It's a no-win situation sometimes.
Yeah, I plan on having quite a few good quality guests on the show coming up. I almost had Mark DeMacy, the bopper, on this evening, but said he has to attend a doubleheader baseball somewhere tonight.
He's watching us live right now.
Who is?
Mark.
Bopper?
Yeah, he's on Facebook.
You're killing me. See? I knew he's like the Archie Bunker of wiffle ball. He is.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Anybody that knows him would agree with that. And when he's on, we're going to talk a lot of history going back. It won't be boring history. It's going to be fun stories, crazy things. I can say without question that between Mark and myself, we're probably the two most traveled players in the history of the game. He may have a slight edge on me. I don't know. I'd have to debate that with him. But incredible times we had starting back in the mid-'90s. And I think he played up until about 2004 before maybe 2005 before he finally retired. He finally realized he wasn't as good as I was and decided to quit. So
that could be fighting words right there.
Yeah, I don't think he ever got a hit off of me his whole career, and he was supposed to be one of the better hitters, and he never
right.
could.
You know, we've got a guy that's watching us on Facebook right now that's just a hop, skip, and a jump from our location. We might be able to persuade him to come across.
Oh, yeah.
And come in and get on the air with us.
Yeah, if he knows anything about the great sport of plastic baseball, yeah, more than welcome.
I think that he may have played it a time or two. I know that I've seen him play.
Yeah, that'd be great. So I was hoping maybe I could get Brett Bevilacqua in here tonight too.
He's joined in on Facebook.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if he gets in on the show or not. But anyway, it's what's the format tonight again?
Wow.
Wide Open Wednesday.
Wide Open Wednesday. Yes, that's it.
Yeah, Wide Open Wednesday tonight, guys. So you got anything to talk about? We're here to talk about it. I don't know how long we're going to last tonight, but we'll see what happens.
We've got a call coming in here. So let's go to the phone lines and see who we've got here. 93.5, you're on the air. You hear me? Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
I don't hear anything.
You don't hear anything. What's going on here? Not here.
I'm watching you guys, but I turned down the hold on. I'll turn up the sound.
Okay. Are you listening?
Yeah, if I turn up the sound on YouTube, I can hear you guys, but I can't hear it through the phone.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to figure this out. I thought I had it straightened out, but if you can hear us, what's going on?
All right, well, let's drop this call, and we will go into stall mode one more time. I think that may have been Brett right there.
I'm gonna probably have to get a hammer out. I guess I don't know. This has got me stumped. I don't understand.
You want me to call in the maintenance man Schneider?
Yeah,
get Schneider in here,
and we might have to do that.
So some other guests that probably going to be getting on the show too coming up. I think there's probably close to 50 guys that have shown interest in and coming on. Whether or not we get them all on, I don't know. It's pretty hit and miss because of all the time zones and everything. But like I said, DeMacy is one. Definitely going to get him on. Jim Dalby, I'm going to have him on. Brett, I'm going to try to devote an entire show with Brett. At some point, I'm going to have to drag old man Bruce Christie out of his old folks home and get him on here. And we're going to talk about some things that will be very interesting. I was going to do a show with Kevin Norris, and he kicked us to the curb so he could go shoot some pool.
Kevin was logged in here at Facebook Live watching us also.
Yeah, Kevin.
That's the downfall to us broadcasting live on Facebook, because now we know who's actually in here watching and listening to the show.
Yeah, so maybe I can get Kevin rescheduled sometime. Rob Longeroux, I think, wants to come on and talk all things plastic ball.
I know Rob is he's signed in also.
Yeah, very good.
I'd like to get another caller because I think I've got the phone system figured out.
All right.
When we were reconfiguring stuff, I'd moved a couple things in here, and being it had been a while, I think I've got it corrected now.
I will get my former teammate and a guy that's never done a radio show before, Jim Ballion, will be on here. It will be the first time. I'm pretty sure DP and the West Coast Wiffle Report never had Ballion on. I'm pretty sure of that. So I'm going to be the first, but I would maybe try to get DP and Ballion on at the same time. But anyway, that's somebody that would be some really good discussions there. I really want to get into Ballion's brain about his early days of playing, coming up through the ranks, so to speak, and some of the battles he had versus the Abros, and some of those battles that ended up causing nightmares for me. So I think that would be some very interesting discussions. And what about you, JB? I know you got some guys that want to come on there, right?
Oh, yeah, there's been a few. I've been reaching out to some of my rock throwing teammates to see if they want to come on and talk. So I thought about trying to get a rock thrower versus a wiffle pitcher competition to see who's got a better thrower pitch.
Yeah, that'd be good. Babs out in Chico area, out in Chico, California. He's always game, talk some ball. So we'll get him on here. Talk about his new Big Flies bat that's starting to show up around the country. Good quality piece of lumber. We got one leaning up there somewhere. You can probably see it.
Which one is it?
It's the wooden bat up there.
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah. Don't pull that down because the whole studio will collapse.
Is that the one holding everything together?
It is.
Okay.
We'll have to get fire department and FEMA and everybody else in here.
Well, let's not do that then.
Yeah, it looks like it's just all held together. But Babs, that's a good quality piece of construction you got there. It's keeping the whole studio together for us.
You're catching all kinds of flack on here about this Cowboys rug.
Hey, if there's no Cowboys rug on the floor, there is no FP radio network. It's just that simple. Start counting Super Bowls, fellas. Anyway, I'm not on NFL terms anymore, so but it's an excellent rug.
We'll throw a big shout out to Two Wiffle Dudes Podcast Network. They're sharing our video feed right now.
Awesome.
So we appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, thanks. Probably Carl out there. Carl, appreciate that. We aired quite a few of the Two Wiffle Dudes shows on the Rock, right? You did.
Absolutely, yeah. They were running, I believe we had them running every Saturday morning, back to back feeds. I believe starting at 8 a.m. in the morning, and then again at 10, again at 12, and I believe at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow. And so we did that, and then the West Coast Wiffle Report was on quite a bit. And if I remember right, there were a couple other just random podcasts that were submitted by some guys. I'm not. Did we get?
We had the Texas draft on there, I believe, is one of them that we ran.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which was pretty cool.
What about my old buddy Tim Dean? I wonder if he even knows we're doing a show tonight down in Austin, down Cedar Park, Texas.
I don't know. Looking here to see, I've got a couple people on YouTube watching.
Yeah.
So looks like the majority of our watchers are out here on Facebook currently, though. So that's pretty cool.
So you think you have the phone issue worked out again?
I'm pretty sure. I'm willing to try it. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to try to call the last caller back. Okay. We'll call them and hopefully that'll work. Bear with us. Okay, guys. Like I said, this is our test run for the show, and I give it a shot.
Oh, wait. I hear something.
Can you hear us now?
Hello?
Hello? Do you hear us?
Hello? Yeah. I still don't hear. I got to turn on the volume on my computer to hear. It still isn't coming through my phone.
Okay, let's try a couple things while we're doing this.
If you want, mess around with it, and I'll just sit here. I'll shut up.
Atlantic Wiffle is going to be kicking off their season, I believe, mid-April. And I can say that without question, if you want to get in some good quality play, you better get down there to the York, Pennsylvania area and get entered in one of those tournaments before they sell out. I'm not sure if they're going to expand the number of teams they take per event, but be well worth your time, make a short drive down, a couple hours play and get tuned up. If you were able to play the entire season there, you would be well practiced, get your eye sharpened up, get your pitching tuned up for Texas. Really good. I was able to play there 2 times last year and had a really good time, both tournaments. And Nick Shire's got a couple of great fields, and Tim and Paul Cook, they know how to run a good tournament. They've been doing it for a long time, and you can't go wrong. Probably the permanent field there that they use is one of the nicest fields I've ever played on. And it's just kind of scenic the way it sits way up high on a hill, and you can look out and I don't know, you can see a couple miles. And they say at night, Civil War soldiers rise up out of their graves out of the middle of the field and get out there and play ball in the middle of the night. So that alone's worth it, right? Not sure when Palisade season kicks off. I haven't had an opportunity to check that out, but I know it shouldn't be too awfully long. It'd be kind of exciting to see those guys going at it. It's so that team that wins your tournament would advance to the NCT in Texas in October. That would be pretty monumental. My goal for the year is probably get 10 tournaments around the country set up and operating under the Fast Plastic name or in partnership. That would be even better as partner. And everybody working towards a common goal of bringing back tournament-based wiffle ball. Long overdue. You can email us, fastplasticnct@gmail.com. What's the, I can't remember the phone number here at the studio, but
it's 618-200-9260.
Okay. Broadcasting on YouTube, on the Fast Plastic channel, YouTube, Facebook Live at WROC The Rock, and The Rock's radio app. What is that one?
It's WROC 93.5.radiostream321.com.
Right.
And I'm going to we're going to have to keep messing with this. We're going to drop our call here I don't really know what's going on with this. Everything's set right. I'm gonna have to. I guess we're gonna have to go back and do the drawing board on this. I don't know what's going on. It's kind of got me mind boggled, actually.
Okay.
So,
we'll get it figured out one way or the other.
Right. So it's kind of annoying that the fact that we're doing that, having to go through and do this. Guys, I apologize here. We thought we had everything going good, but that's kind of the whole purpose of tonight, the trial run, to see what bugs we've got to work out and get fixed. So just bear with us, and hopefully by the next time we're on the air, we'll have everything worked out and working.
Yeah. So what time we have, JB?
Currently, it's 41 after the hour.
41 after the hour.
Yeah.
Or 19 till.
Yes.
All right. So I guess we'll go here if we can find some material to talk about here for the next 19 minutes, and then maybe cash them in at the top of the hour, which would be what, 8 o'clock?
It'll be 8 Central Time. Yes. So we're getting some good feedback here on Facebook. We've got people that say it's looking sharp. They're saying everything looks good. Hopefully it's sounding good, other than the phone issue that we're having. So we're going to take a quick breather. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, okay?
You're listening to the Fast Plastic Radio Network. Fast Plastic Radio Network.
All right, we're back. I wasn't kidding when I said a quick breather. I just wanted to throw out what you're listening to. The Fast Plastic Radio Network here on 93.5 The Rock. I'm JB, and we've got Billy O here in the studio with us currently, trying to get our phone issue straightened out. I would love to get that working and straightened out so we could get some callers coming in here. But apparently the gremlins have jumped on board, and they've just taken a hold of the phone system tonight. Everything else seems to be working well.
Yeah, I literally have, well, JB as well, but we have a stack of electronic components. If we stacked them on in, they would be 8 feet tall, right?
Pretty much. And probably about, I'd probably guess every bit of probably about 600 feet of cabling combined
easily
on everything in here.
But even all the equipment that's blown up, burned out, whatever. I mean, it's seriously, it's unbelievable. I mean, over here in the corner, we've got mixing boards and computers and
sound processors.
I got to figure out, what are you going to do with all that stuff?
It's going to go to the scrap yards where it's going to go, recycling center. So, they pay good money for the junk computers now.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm wondering if there's anybody can send us a message over there on the what is that, YouTube or
This is the Facebook feed that I've got up right now, looking at everybody's comments. Let me bounce back over here to YouTube. Stream as much now on YouTube, but like Brett, Def have a phone issue. Yeah, I understand we've got a phone issue. And so are you guys saying that YouTube stream is not as clear? Tell Billy he has a great video on his phone. Okay, so I guess you've got a great video on your phone. That was from Ed Packer. Let's see here. Carl Coffey says Billy O is a legend.
Yeah, all right.
Sean Michael says it looks sharp. Appreciate it. He says the sound is clear. No breaks or cracks in the audio. That's a plus. So I don't know how many people, if we have anybody that's actually on the WROC 93.5 listen to my radio app or not, but hopefully it's going good also. So like I said, this is the trial run tonight to see how things are going, and hopefully it's going good. I take it you had a good video.
Yeah, well, Ed, he's a pretty good guy, man. He cracks me up. Sent me a video. He's wearing an old FP t-shirt with the sleeves cut out, and he's chugging. I'm gonna say to benefit him that he's chugging beer out of the 2017 Fast Plastic Championship Trophy Cup. So that's pretty good. And just don't tell anybody it's Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid, huh?
Yeah, that's a nice video. I'll have to put that in my collection. Go back and let you look at that like in 20 years.
Well, while you're talking here, I want to do some searching and see if I can pull up some information on our phone hybrid system here and see if I can find a setting on this. Make sure I've got something set right. So give me a minute and I'll be with you shortly.
Yeah. So what I'm wondering is if anybody could send us a message, let us know. Has there been any tournaments or any thing going on since the Mid-Atlantic tournament back in February, I think is when their tournament. Has there been anything else happening? If so, where, who played in it and who won? That would be good to know. Used to be way back in the day, there were quite a few indoor tournaments around the country that you could show up and play. I can remember even there was a few years consecutive that I think it was in Cleveland, Ohio, that it was a big one-on-one tournament and lasted a couple of days. I was always tempted to go there and play. I always figured I would win it outright and it wouldn't be that challenging because I never knew any of the players that ever attended those. So, but I'm wondering if anything like that still goes on today. Anybody have any news on Golden Stick season coming up? I haven't heard much out of Lou lately. Got an email from him back a couple months ago. I guess I ought to give him a call, see how he's doing. I know he's a busy man, but interested in knowing what Golden Stick's got going on for 2018.
Well, good news.
Oh yeah, what's that?
I got it going.
All right.
At least that's what I say for now. Didn't mean to interrupt you on that, but we'll give that I don't know who that was that had called in, but we'll give him another call. We're going to be coming at you right now, so just hang tight. We'll be with you. Okay.
Hello?
Hello. Can you hear us now?
I can.
Good deal. All right. So you're on Fast Plastic Radio Network with JB and Billy O.
This is Brett, if you don't know.
Hey, Brett. Good to hear. Yeah. Are you in the bathtub?
Yeah.
That's what.
I like to usually get a bath around. It's 8:40 New York time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You probably were. Yeah. So yeah.
Got some provolone on the rail of the tub. Salami.
Yeah. So what's new with you? What's going on with Palisades?
We just had like a small draft. Not too many guys opted out last year. Not too many new guys. A couple of minor league guys got brought up, and then now it's probably the next 2 weeks to get the minor league together, and then we start about a month, the 29th April.
Okay, so that's not too far. You think the weather's going to cooperate by then?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Well, I know.
It's the dream I have. In 2009, it was like our first very organized year, I would say. It was 94 or 96 on opening day, like last weekend of April in New York. And then it's been 50 degrees or less and sometimes raining. It's been brutal.
Wow. Yeah, you never know. I remember I played on a team called the Texas Marshals for a couple of years, and Tim Dean ran a tournament in Cedar Park. It was the first tournament of the year. I think it was in March. And we went down, played. I think we played as a two-man team. And it was like 95 or 96 degrees for that tournament. And by the time we were done, I couldn't even walk because of dehydration, and you're just not ready for that early in the season. And
yeah, it's always one day, it's not like a build-up you can at least you're used to it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so we're waiting. I'm holding out hope that it won't be, a gloomy opening day. But it's just become a thing, and the beginning of the season is really frustrating for me because of bad weather. Makes it everything twice as hard.
Do your fields drain well? If it rains? Do the playing fields drain off pretty well, quickly?
It might be the best drainage of any wiffle ball field ever used in the history of man. We had 2-3 years ago in the summer, big storm came through, like 10 inches of rain in like an hour. Unheard of in where we live. One of our guys was like jumping in the water. It was like 1.5 foot deep on one side of the field. 2 hours later, we played on it. It was still sloppy, but it was like a pool of water.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for everybody listening in that doesn't know who's on the phone, this is Brett Bevilacqua. He's located. What town are you in, Brett?
Like physically right now, or in my league?
Yeah, both.
Oh, I'm in Yonkers, New York, which is just north of the Bronx. And my league is across the river from New York City. But, New Jersey is directly across, so it's a little north. It's about 20 miles north of where I am right now.
Yeah, okay. And Brett runs arguably one of the more competitive leagues, or has been the most competitive league ongoing for, I don't know, how long now? 5, 6, 7 years, something like that?
No, everyone will argue with me, so I don't want to. It's been a while. It's been fun. A lot of great players have come through here. It's been in like fast plastic terms. When I went to your tournament in May, and there's actually guys from that tournament in the league now, which is kind of funny. But all the talent I ran into at that tournament, that has kind of been the life of Palisades. We've seen that. What you had at that one tournament, that's been through Palisades over the years. But, arguably, there's probably a couple of guys that played in 2008 that you might say, oh, they're way better.
Yeah.
But my whole life, between the movie, all the people I've met, and the league, I've seen some unbelievable players. So it's been fun.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you've got a lot of exposure for sure. If not the country, around the world possibly now, which is excellent. That's
leagues. I'm not saying everybody, but leagues out of the country seem to like us more than inside the country.
Yeah.
So USA.
Yeah. So earlier, I don't know if you were on when I was talking about it, but I brought up the ongoing feud between Palisades and the NWLA. I commented briefly on it. Is there any new developments on that, or has it just died out or moved on? Anything?
It usually dies out. It's this blow up every, before. It's the same thing that it always, even on that plastic chat board, it would get so crazy the month before the game started. And then it goes away because you either end up playing the people or you don't. Whatever. It seems like it's something that's always happened from when I was a rookie, a newbie. And then, you're in this, 11 years or 12 years now for me?
Yeah.
It gets old.
Yeah.
So, but, whatever. At least people know where I am.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. It seems like the feud that has gone on between leagues or organizations, and it's multiple levels too. I was talking about the slow pitch versus fast pitch, but there's also been some pretty brutal feuds or struggles that went on between organizations, associations, bat companies, ball companies. I mean, It was some pretty bad stuff that we had to struggle through for years. But I'm glad all that stuff's over. One thing I was thinking about since I've been taking it easy for the last couple months, is I've noticed that when I start getting more involved into doing wiffle ball related things, my blood pressure goes up. I tend to get pissed a whole lot easier about little things that normally I wouldn't even bat an eyelash at. But as soon as I start getting onto this crap, man, little things just start eating away at me, and I'm like, man, I don't know if this is worth it. So.
Oh, it's not. It's absolutely not worth it. But then you get to, there's days I stand on the field. I'm a terrible player now, and I don't play that much anymore. But I stand on the field. These guys are playing their asses off, and I'm like, this started in my front yard 11 years ago. How cool is this right now? And that's the fun part. Like, people, I own the Dodgers. I'll probably play 2 games with them this year and most of the season in the minors. And even if I was on the team, it doesn't matter who wins because I always feel like I win. So that's the weird thing. That's the only reason I think I keep doing it.
Right. Yeah. JB, can you hand me a pen, please, or a pencil?
Absolutely. There you go.
We're handing love letters back and forth here. So, but yeah, the little, for me back in the day, my blood pressure would go up. I'd get pissed off about something somebody said or did, or somebody trying to circumvent the system or whatever it might be. But I was always able to fall back on me being a player and focus on that aspect of it and try to forget about everything else. And that helped. And then I always had Bruce Christie there is always telling me, man, we just have to not worry about it and just keep on keeping on, And so,
I don't know how you did it. You were an all-star type player and you were running a tournament. Even though, you and Bruce are doing it together. I understand that. But your mind, I don't think I could ever explain to someone, your mind is never, ever in the game when it's at something year-round. I don't care if it's low pitch, medium pitch, set pitch. There are 3 trillion things going on. And you're in that bat. That's kudos to you for being able to pull off both of those things. And I was at your tournament; it was absolutely awesome, and you're a great player. So, again, kudos.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not just you and I. You think about it, there's a lot of guys that over the years that have probably had to deal with those same things. Mike Palanzar, name comes to mind. So. But anyway, I'm trying to get JB, trying to tell him I think we need to put a little pad or a cushion on that handset because it's picking up vibration and echo, like especially when you roll your chair, it's coming through. I could hear it on the phone.
Is it still doing it?
No, not so much now, but it does. I kind of have like a little bit of an echo in my headset, so I don't know how it sounds over the airwaves to all the listeners. But
all the feedback I've been reading online says that we sound good, that he sounds a little shaky, but I believe it's his phone. If he's on a cell phone, it could be the cell connection possibly.
Well, and if he wasn't in the bathtub eating salami and provolone too, that would probably help.
Full up here. I can't use connected to outside line.
Yeah, the other thing too, I'm wanting listeners and viewers to let me know, do I look good? Does my hair look all right? Everything look good? I need.
Very handsome.
Yeah, okay, that's what I need to hear. So, and JB, of course, he always looks good over there. A little shiny, a little bit shiny in spots, but other than that,
yeah, I just had a haircut today. Okay, so
yeah.
So, what do you think of this?
One thing I'm getting, I hear my voice echoing. Is there any way to stop that? I would love that.
How about are you echoing because you're listening on online as well as the phone? Okay, how about now? Is it still echoing?
I think it went. Oh no, there it is again.
Yeah, I think that has something to do with our phone connection, maybe cellular connection or something if you're on your cell phone.
Yeah, so we tell the listeners, JB, about our physical location. Like we're not in a major metropolitan area or anything.
We're actually in a van down by the river. No, just kidding. Actually, we're in southern Illinois, actually, in a town in southern Illinois of about 7,000 people. And we're broadcasting, of course, over the internet. And, you know, where we're at, we're not on fiber optic internet here. We're on a DSL line. So, you know, if the audio sometimes is somewhat crappy, it could be because of the internet. I'm not going to mention the company's name, but they're not the greatest in the world.
We are still looking at upgrading that, however, and that could be coming soon. But yeah, it's a very remote location. Anybody that's ever been to Illinois, first of all, if you're not in the Chicago area, Illinois is a very rural state, and we are in almost the most rural part of Illinois that you can possibly be in. So earlier tonight, JB was out climbing up the telephone pole just to get a call out to who was it, your mom or somebody?
Yeah, I actually was. Had to climb the phone pole. It's kind of like Green Acres here, you know.
Yeah. So we got a message you handed over there a while ago.
I did.
What was that again? It
was, you gave it back to me, didn't you?
Yeah.
This came from I believe it was Tim Cook.
April 7th, the FSWL.
I'm sorry, Ed Packard.
The FSWL tournament in Orlando, Florida is coming up. That's what, a week away? April 7th?
Yeah.
FSWL. Is that the Florida State Wiffle League?
Yes.
That's awesome, man. That's really good to hear. Florida has always...
Isn't that a bunch of fast plastic guys from the South?
I'm not sure, but I'm going to look into it and find out. It's possible it might be old Alex Unger, possibly, but I'm not sure. But that's good to know.
Georgia, the Georgia region.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again? Unger?
Alex Unger.
Was there another guy, tall, skinny guy?
Well, depends on what era. I know way back, Ken Flamia used to run some tournaments down there with Banjo and Kenny Norman down around Sarasota. Those were some great players, good guys. TJ Goals used to run a few tournaments around, where was he? Like Tampa, Bradenton, something like that, I think. He had a field in his backyard that was pretty cool. He played for the Fin Daddies. Everybody remembers TJ.
Ed was saying that they're struggling to get some teams into that tournament, so we could maybe mention, if you guys are listening out there and you're looking for a tourney, Orlando, April 7th.
Yeah, definitely. This is a time. You know, you don't want to wait until the summertime now, and there be some good players early in the year for you. So we need to have a really good. Excuse me. We need to have a really good tournament calendar. Now, I know Milstead does the wiffle ball tournament. What was it? The tourney tracker, something like that. And I think I sent him a message a couple of years ago when I got back into this and told him I wish there was a way that you could sort the tournaments, because honestly, I personally don't like to have to filter through every, 8th grade kids getting together at grandma's house tournament to try to find the one tournament that suits my needs. So I wish there was a way you could sort through those and just pick out the fast pitch type tournaments, So we're in desperate need of that these days, and as well as we need more tournaments. So, and leagues as well. You should be able to go through and find out if you like to play ball a certain way, then we need to be able to direct you to some sort of a directory for your style of play. We used to have.
I just think people don't want to do it, though, like run leagues.
Yeah.
Or tournaments. There's a lot of guys out there, putting in the like there's too many new people that, you know, want to go outside of the 4 or 5 team kind of setup.
Yeah, I think something to that could be said, that it's a lost art. I think the bar was set too high, and in order for somebody to try to run a tournament, they think that it has to be, you know, 16 teams, and it has to, you know, be 8 wiffle ball fields, and that's just not the case. Nobody starts out like that. You've got to start small, work your way up. You know, start out with 2 wiffle ball fields on a plot of land, 4, 5, 6 teams. That's it. That's all you need. On average, guys, if you go back and you look at the history of tournaments going back to the early 90s, on average, you're going to find that it was only 5, 6, 7 teams on average per tournament. And, you know, but there were big tournaments. Palanzar ran some large ones. Ferroli had some good ones. Cincinnati.
Huge.
Yeah, they were huge. But, you know, they had...
I think the Summer Showdown, the first or second one I went to, had some like 90 teams. It went on for as far as the eye could see. It was crazy.
Yeah. Wiffle Up had some huge ones.
Was it even bigger?
Yeah. I know the Wiffle Ups that I went to had, I think one year 125, and then I could be wrong, but I think it reached 140 teams, and those were the St. Louis tournaments that I played in. Those were pretty good, but of course he had radio advertising, and he was marketing. You know, he was a marketing guy. But Palanzar, you know, ask Mike. He worked his ass off, you know, but he had a lot of support. He had he'd get ESPN to come out, Sports Illustrated, all the magazines back in the day used to like to show up at these tournaments and provide us with some exposure. But anyway, my point is that an average tournament of the hundreds or 1,000 tournaments that's been ran over all the years, on average, it's only about 5 or 6 teams that show up to these. So that's your goal. You know, if you can get 5 or 6 teams to show up, you've accomplished something. So
it's hard to, the end game though is there's so many different styles now. I didn't really see this. It was, you know, it might be fast pitch, pie shaped, fast pitch, 90 degree, and then medium pitch and slow pitch. But now there's 10 different variations of everything, which it's gotten a little bit bonkers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened exactly. That it's like there was a giant vacuum, and it exploded. Yeah, I guess. I don't know, but I think it wasn't just FP, but at the same time, you know, Wiffle Up died, NJWA stopped. You know, I'm sure there's some others that I'm forgetting, but everybody just sort of cashed them in all together, and that created this vacuum. And
yeah, it was the economy collapsing. People couldn't travel for livable as much anymore.
Right.
We're recovering now, and you know, so things are going to start happening one way or the other. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. It'll come back. We just need to have some good guys out there working to get it back. So, well, what else? Anything else, Brett, you talk about, or else maybe call it a night?
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Well, thanks. Sorry, it was a little rough there in the beginning, but
yeah, sorry it took 4 calls to get you on.
All right. Well, Brett, you have a good night. And like I said earlier, I'm going to plan to dedicate an entire show just for you calling in, where we'll actually have, you know, an outline to talk about. So I think that would be a great one. So
yeah,
All right. Well, thanks, man. Talk to you later.
Have a good one.
Take care.
All right. We got the phone lines up and working now. And, I guess we can see if there's any other callers out there that may want to call in before we wrap it up.
Yeah. Tell everybody about what we're doing here again tonight.
It's the practice run for the new FP Radio Network live feed on Facebook and YouTube on the Fast Plastic channel, and of course on our audio stream on WROC 93.5.radiostream321.com. So we've got the trifecta going right now, and you can watch us live on YouTube, on the Fast Plastic channel, or on our Facebook page, WROC The Rock, and listen to us live on our radio stream. And if you're out there and you want to call in before we wrap up, 618-200-9260. Hit us here in the studios. You can email us at WROC935therock@gmail.com.
And I think you were saying too, we were talking earlier, that as this thing progresses, we'll be adding some more decor to the studio, right?
Yeah, I would just about challenge the people out there that are listening, that are in the wiffle ball, that have your teams and leagues and stuff. Send us a jersey. We'll feature a jersey each week that we do this and put it up somewhere so it can be shown. And I think that'd be pretty cool to do.
Yeah, like right now, I found one I brought in here. It's over here.
I don't know if they can see it. You might be in the way. You might want to pull it out and show it to them, because you're pretty much blocking the whole thing. Yeah, right there. Marshalls. So, yeah, if you guys want to reach out to Bill and tell him you want to send a jersey to us or something that we can show, we'll find a place that it can be hung so it can be seen a little bit better during our broadcasts. We'll definitely do that. And I think the phones, I don't know if the phone was on he sounded kind of wobbly. I don't know if that was on his end or if it was on our end. I'm thinking it was maybe on a cell phone. It was a cell phone issue. I'm not 100% sure. But, the feedback we were getting from the people online was telling us that the quality was good. It was a little shaky, but not as strong as you or I are. And, of course, we're going to be stronger because we're on microphones talking through the board, going directly into the audio processors.
Yeah, so station management's good with all the decor so far. No, nothing to, no demands to take anything down.
No, they're pretty happy with it, actually. They think it looks really good. I will say that our audio feed that we were running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we're still in the process of getting that corrected, and that's to do with the horrible internet that we were talking about earlier. Once we do get that situation corrected, we will try to get the feed back up to where we're playing music on our audio feed and be airing our shows again on there, along with other podcasts that get sent to us that we can put on, so we can rebroadcast any podcasts that you guys have out there that you want to share.
Excellent. So before we shut her down here, so I do plan on having a good guest on, I guess, for the next show, which could possibly be next Wednesday night if they can get us in here. And but just check in on the Facebook and what is the Facebook?
And, definitely stay tuned in. Follow us on Facebook, WROC The Rock. We will be updating that every time before we go live. Usually, once we get everything finalized and worked out, we will be doing updates on there and getting back to everybody knowing when we're on and when it's back to 110% moving forward.
Yeah, and in the meantime, you can check out the West Coast Wiffle Report. There's still recorded shows out there to listen to, a lot of fun times. And the two Wiffle dudes, they're still going and have shows weekly or every 2 weeks. And Carl Coffee does a great job over there. So I'll probably have Carl on here at some point coming up.
I think that'd be a good one to have on there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely. So, yeah, I guess if you don't have anything else to talk about, JB, I think I'm about finished for the night.
Well, I definitely think that that should be it. And just want to say that you've been listening to.
You're listening to the Fast Plastic Radio Network. Fast Plastic Radio Network.